That was the year I was at my absolute worst, blackmailing the heiress of the social elite with intimate photos just to get $28 out of her. I suspect I was so hungry I was starting to hallucinate. 3 days ago, Mia Sterling and I had a wild, reckless night. It was a shameful night, and I snapped a few intimate pictures as insurance, terrified she might turn around and accuse me of trying to scam a rich girl. What was even more shameful was that I couldn't even afford instant noodles right now, so I had to swallow my pride and use those photos to blackmail her. I found her TikTok account first, which only had a single video of a casual night run. She was tall with long legs, and even though she was only visible for a second, you could tell she was a stunning beauty. Her username was just the letter S, and I later found out this was just an assignment from her media professor to gain 10,000 followers. Mia was clearly doing the bare minimum, and she was only following one person, Chase Kensington, my roommate and her childhood friend. My stomach was growling again, sounding like a tractor engine. I picked the most conservative photo I had and sent it over. It showed Mia's profile resting on my shoulder, her hair scattered across my arm, revealing just a hint of her collarbone and toned abs. There was also a bite mark I had left on her, but the angle was clever enough to hide my face completely. It was perfectly suggestive without being explicit. As soon as I hit send, the system notified me that I could only send one direct message. I squatted in the hallway of my rental apartment, the cold from the tiles seeping into my bones as I waited for a reply. 10 minutes later, Mia's profile picture, a simple white letter on a black background, replied with a single question mark. It was cool and detached, just like her. I was a little annoyed, so I sent a veiled threat. You probably don't want this photo getting out, right? Everyone knew Mia Sterling and Chase Kensington grew up together, and their social circle assumed they were a match made in heaven. This time she replied instantly, clearly panicked. What do you want? Money? How much? I typed back, $28. I just wanted to go to the fast food joint down the street and get a burger combo to treat myself. Mia's message came back dripping with disdain. One photo for $100? You're a shrewd businessman. It was my first time blackmailing anyone, so I panicked and immediately backed down. Is 28 okay then? She just replied, account number. I let out a sigh of relief, feeling like I had won a major battle, and sent my Venmo QR code. A second later, a mechanical female voice announced from my phone, Venmo received, $280,000. How much? Was I hallucinating from hunger? $280,000, not $28? And secondly, right as I was blackmailing Mia, a bunch of texts suddenly floated in the air right in front of my eyes. Is the side character stupid from hunger asking for $28? Wake up, Mike. Mia's bathroom is bigger than your entire apartment. Asking for $280,000 isn't too much. Our baby hasn't turned villain yet. Stay away from Mia, or you'll end up digging ice in the Arctic. Look at him eating fried chicken with grease all over his hands. You're telling me he becomes a major villain? Who would believe that? Even a villainess needs time to grow, right? There were too many words floating around, and it was making my eyes hurt. It wasn't until I had the $280,000 in my account, ordered 3 buckets of fried chicken, and ate until I had to hold onto the wall to walk, that I realized I wasn't crazy. The money Mia sent was real, and the floating comments in the air were real too. I spent the entire afternoon piecing together a cruel fact from the stream chat. I was living inside a novel where the plot hadn't finished yet. The original heroine was Mia Sterling, and the male lead was Chase Kensington. They were childhood friends who were always together, known in their social circle as the golden couple. And I was the male side character in the book who would eventually turn evil out of extreme jealousy toward Chase and obsession with Mia. Who, me? You're telling me that a poor student with 50 cents in his pocket, who loves ice-cold soda, ranks first in his class, has a gambler father, a deceased mother, and a sick grandmother, is going to kidnap someone out of jealousy? Yeah, that sounds totally reasonable. I wiped the steam off the bathroom mirror, revealing my broad shoulders, narrow waist, and the muscles I'd built from years of hard work. There was still a tooth mark on my side where Mia had bitten me. I didn't let her get away with it, though. I had bitten her shoulder just as hard, and she probably still had the mark too. She had been drunk that night, but after I bit her, her eyes had cleared up a bit. She grabbed my wrist and asked, "Are you part wolf or something?" Then she got even rougher. The truth was, I was angry that she didn't remember me. Back in my rundown apartment, I cleared out a small, cozy corner and set down a can of cold soda. I didn't like soda because of the taste. I liked it because of that day when I was 10 years old, collecting scrap on the street. Mia Sterling was the most beautiful person I had ever seen, even better than the celebrities on TV. But what caught my eye more was the soda can she was holding. Aluminum cans were worth 5 cents more than cardboard. I stared at the can intently. She raised an eyebrow and asked if I wanted it, and I nodded furiously. She probably never had to worry about money, so she just tossed the can to me. But I was severely malnourished back then, thin as a rail, and I missed the catch. The can hit a rock and cracked open, the brown soda fizzing as it spilled into the mud. Mia clicked her tongue, told me to wait, and turned back toward the convenience store. I squatted down, wiped the mud off the can with my sleeve, and licked up the spilled soda. It was so sweet it almost tasted bitter. It wasn't as good as the hard candy grandma gave me during the holidays. When Mia came out of the store and saw me like that, she paused, then went back inside. That day, I walked home hugging an entire case of soda. I eventually crushed all the cans and sold them to old Mrs. Higgins at the recycling center, making $19.31. That was all the money I made that day. So when Mia got drunk and I distracted Chase to flirt with her, I admit I was partly motivated by revenge. I wanted revenge because she didn't remember the kid who collected scrap. Looking back, it all seemed to revolve around that soda. I opened my chat with Mia. $280,000 was way too much. I had only wanted $28, but I guess the unit of measurement for rich people is different from us poor folks. I sent another, even more conservative photo. She replied even faster this time. Don't start with me. How much do you want now? I decided to act tough. No charge this time. Buy one, get one free. I could almost see her raising an eyebrow through the screen, her tone dripping with contempt. My villain level was probably only at 1%. No. Or do you just want me to relive that night? She added a playful tilde at the end. Was I being enough of a scumbag? But Mia was better at this game than I was. Is that it? You can't relive it by yourself, so look at this. Then she sent a photo back. I opened it and instantly blushed from my ears down to my neck. She had sent a photo that was incredibly revealing, leaving absolutely nothing to the imagination. The sexual tension was off the charts. I stared at the photo for 20 minutes, my face hot enough to fry an egg, before I finally ran to the bathroom to splash cold water on my face. When I came back and checked my messages, Mia had sent another one. No feedback? I closed my eyes, face burning, and typed back 2 words. I'm sorry. She must have been laughing her head off because she sent a voice message immediately, her tone amused. It's only human nature. Don't worry about it. The stream chat went wild, spamming, I'm sorry across my vision. Mia, you're too good at flirting. Forget Mike, even I can't handle this, and I'm a guy. Sorry, it's Mia's fault. Sorry. The whole screen was filled with apologies, like a collective confession. I quickly exited the chat. If we kept talking, I was afraid I'd lose control and do something stupid again. The next second, a message from Chase popped up. Mike, I think Mia is falling for someone else. Yeah, Chase. My feelings right now were pretty complicated too. On one hand, I had originally befriended him just to get closer to Mia through their connection. On the other hand, he was genuinely annoying. Every morning he acted like he was on a caffeine high. He would shout, "Let's go," at the mirror and start his day full of energy. Meanwhile, I worked until the early hours of the morning, dragging myself back to my apartment without even the strength to take off my shoes. Compared to him, my struggle made me feel like a rat in a gutter. Someone barely holding it together like me really couldn't stand a little ray of sunshine, like him. Chase kept messaging. Mia went to the gym yesterday, and I saw a mark on her neck. I replied vaguely, a mark? That night had been chaotic. Mia had been urgent from the start, and I hadn't exactly resisted. I think I did leave a few hickeys on her neck. Chase replied instantly. Yeah, I asked her how she got it, and she just casually said a cat scratched her. I pursed my lips and silently changed my iMessage profile picture to a fat, round cat. That hint should be obvious enough. Mike, do you think she likes someone? When she bent down to get water, I think I saw a hickey on her collarbone. He followed up with several 60-second voice messages. I was too lazy to listen to them, so I just replied, wow, that's crazy. Oh my God, Chase, you must be heartbroken. Sigh, nothing I can do. You can't force love. Finally, Chase calmed down and sent an electronic invitation. It's my birthday this Saturday. You have to come. The party was at the Kensington family villa, which had a pool in the backyard. Guys and girls were scantily clad. Girls lounged on inflatable swans, soaking up the sun while guys splashed around in the water. It looked like a massive mating ritual. Chase was wearing blue board shorts, his skin a healthy tan, and when he smiled, his 2 dimples made him look as innocent as a high schooler. I was just wearing a white t-shirt and black shorts. I didn't have the energy to dress up lately. My mind was consumed with grandma's medical bills and next month's rent. The comments started scrolling again. Huh? Did the side character change his personality? He's not wearing a floral shirt to steal the spotlight? To be honest, with Mike's broad shoulders and narrow waist, even I want to lean on him, and I'm a guy. Mia hit the jackpot. The side character is dumb, but you can't deny his face and body are top tier. Hot guy alert. I had been pretty depressed lately. I used to think that growing to 6'1" with a swimmer's build, despite starving as a kid and having my dad steal my scrap money, was a gift from God. But now that I knew I was just a side character, my worldview was collapsing. I didn't care what I was wearing. Chase was sitting on a flamingo float, splashing around with Chloe. I could hear their laughter from a mile away. But I noticed Chase kept glancing up at the second-floor balcony. I followed his gaze and saw Mia in a long black dress, holding a glass of champagne. She was leaning against the railing, looking indifferent, as if watching a play that had nothing to do with her. Maybe I was staring too hard, because she suddenly turned her head and locked eyes with me. I quickly looked down and started picking at my fingernails. When you're awkward, you just need something to do. Wow, the pool tiles were really white. Suddenly, Chase's scream pierced the air. He had accidentally fallen into the water. Chloe reacted the fastest, jumping in to pull him ashore. Chase, are you okay? Her voice was trembling with panic. Chase coughed violently, his eyes red. He must have swallowed a lot of water. Mia, who had just run over, squatted down to help him, but Chase pulled away. Mia's hands grasped at empty air. Mia, I was so scared just now. I thought I'd never see you again. Chase's voice was soft and full of self-pity. Beside him, Chloe gave a bitter smile and tried to act cool. Mia, if you had come over sooner, Chase wouldn't have fallen in. But I saw her knuckles turning white from clenching her fists. As expected of the rival character, she got full marks in manipulation. The comments were flying by. Enough. I feel so bad for Chloe. Chloe looks like a wet puppy, poor thing. So sad. Chase clings to Mia but won't reject Chloe. He's playing both sides. Just gonna quietly mention, that's the shallow end of the pool. By evening, everyone started playing truth or dare. Mia and Chloe sat on either side of Chase. Since I arrived late and had that weird tension with Mia, I ended up sitting next to her. I picked up a can of cold soda, my fingers digging into the tab until they hurt, but I couldn't pry it open. Just as I was about to give up, Mia, who was looking at her phone, suddenly reached out. She took the soda from my hand with one hand, her fingertips brushing against my skin, feeling hot. With a click, the tab popped open. Mia glanced at me and handed the soda back. No strength. The scene reminded me of my childhood. Back then, when I was squatting on the street with a leaking soda can, she had walked over and opened a new one for me with one hand, just like that. That sound was like the only music in my bleak life. But the memory of crushing cans to stuff into plastic bags pulled me back to reality. The comments exploded at the interaction. If you can't drink, go sit at the kids' table. Damn, the tension between the side character and Mia is insane. Are they gonna hug next? Don't get your hopes up. Did you forget how hard Mia chases Chase later in the book? She'd never like Mike. She probably hates him. Why would she like a selfish guy like that? Right. So when Mia and Mike are on the sofa, in the car, on the rug, by the window, and at the beach later, that's all out of hate, right? Oh my God, outdoors too? I bit my lip. Mia's bare arm brushed against mine, and my face instantly flushed red. The round ended, and the bottle on the table spun again, stopping with the neck pointing straight at Chase. Chase swallowed hard, stole a glance at Mia, and softly said, "Dare." The girl who had chosen truth in the last round drew a card. Her jaw dropped as she read it, then she showed it to everyone. French kiss someone of the opposite sex for 30 seconds. I mentally applauded. The classic plot point had finally arrived. If you couldn't do it, you drank. Fair enough. Chase's eyes darted around before landing on Mia, clearly nervous. I watched intently, my eyes darting between Chase and Mia. I must have been staring too obviously, because the room suddenly went quiet. Everyone was looking at me. By the time I realized it, it was too late. I could only clap awkwardly and chant dryly, "Kiss, kiss," trying to ignite the atmosphere. Everyone joined in the chant. Chase even gave me a shy look, as if thanking me for the assist. But the comments started getting suspicious. Did the side character change sides? No, this is a new strategy. He's playing the bro card instead of the scumbag card. He knows Mia won't kiss Chase, so he's chanting to make Chase look bad. He's so dumb, he doesn't even realize it. I held back tears. Guys in the comments, please don't misunderstand. I just wanted to see some drama. Just as I was about to shut up, the comments flared up again. It's all Mike's fault. Mia is a pure, innocent flower. Right, Mia is beautiful and kind. So her mouth just accidentally glued itself to Mike's, right? Couldn't pull them apart. Exactly. Mia is a vacuum cleaner. That's why Mike couldn't get out of bed for 3 days. They ordered takeout for 3 days until they ran out of food, and that's why he blackmailed her for $28. The logic was sound, but the phrasing was a bit too graphic. I continued to hold back tears, praying for mercy. Mia gently tapped my cheek with the back of her hand. I couldn't hold it in anymore. A tear rolled down. It landed right on the web of her hand. She looked calm, but when I looked at her in confusion, she forced a fake smile. "You're blocking my drink." Her voice was as cold as ice, and the chanting stopped instantly. Chase's eyes went wide with disbelief. Mia didn't look at him. She picked up the glass on the table. "It's fine. I'll drink the penalty for you." But just as the glass touched her lips, someone slapped it away. The brown liquid spilled all over my shorts. Mia quickly grabbed some napkins and squatted down to wipe it off. I froze, and she froze too. Everyone around us froze. Chase was both hurt and angry. "What right do you have to drink for me? Who are you to do that?" Mia was getting annoyed too. "Then who do you want to drink it? It's just a game. I can handle it." Chase's voice was cracking now. The comments were screaming, "Damn, Mia better get ready for the crematorium redemption arc. Chloe, this is your chance. Go for it. Mia, if you won't kiss him, plenty of others will." Sure enough, Chase turned to Chloe. "I choose her." Mia frowned, clearly irritated. "Chase, it's just a drink. Why make it so complicated? Yeah, just drink it and be done with it. None of your business." Chase snapped. Chloe didn't hesitate. She reached out, grabbed the back of Chase's head, and pulled him in for a kiss. It was a deep kiss. The crowd started counting down. 30, 29, 28. It was as loud as a New Year's Eve party. Mia leaned back on the sofa, watching them. She put her hand to her forehead, looking like she couldn't bear to watch. The comments were still scrolling. Is this the legendary 8-angle kiss scene? Chloe and Chase are endgame. Mia, get ready to stand in the rain and get a fever. She's gonna faint crying at their wedding. When will Mia realize she loves Chase? Honestly, I'm kinda shipping Mia and Mike now. As soon as the 30 seconds were up, Chloe let go of Chase. His lips were shiny and red, and his eyes were misty. Chloe squeezed his hand and whispered, "Do you want to get out of here?" Chase nodded. After they left, a space opened up next to Mia. I was squished and uncomfortable, wanting to ask her to scoot over, but I was afraid she was in a bad mood, so I just endured it. She picked up a dark beer and took a swig. I looked at her profile and sighed internally. She took another sip. I sighed again. Drinking to drown your sorrows? We've all been there. Just as she swallowed her third sip, and I prepared my third sigh, she suddenly turned and shot daggers at me with her eyes, nearly scaring my soul out of my body. "Are you okay?" She frowned, looking at me like I was an idiot. "What's with that look?" Pitying me. I knew she was just being tough. I wanted to be gentle and protect her fragile ego. Then I heard her say, "My family has been rich since my great-grandfather's time. Generations of wealth. And you're pitying me?" Her mouth was poisonous. Not only my pride, but even my poverty had been insulted. The comments were wailing. Emotional damage. It's over. Chaos. Does getting roasted to death count as a workplace injury? If Mia doesn't want that mouth, she should donate it. Selling cheap. I'm gonna fight you rich people. I hope Mia can never buy cheap street sausages again. I silently pulled out my phone. "Can I add you on iMessage?" Mia raised an eyebrow, the corner of her mouth curling up, and pulled up her QR code for me to scan. After adding her, I saw the comments roasting me. "Don't be such a simp, Mike. Scared me. I thought you were breaking character. Seeing you be a gold digger makes me feel better." Look at his eyes light up when she mentioned money. No self-respect at all. Great, he's still the greedy side character. We're doomed. I silently switched to another app. Mia was called away by her friend. That was Vanessa. She, Mia, Chase, and Chloe had all grown up in the same exclusive gated community. Chase had always been the group favorite. Vanessa didn't like me. She thought I was just a poor kid trying to climb the social ladder. When she called Mia over, she gave me a disdainful look. The comments said Vanessa's nickname in the book was the bitch. I sent Mia a few messages, and then walked outside too. I didn't mean to eavesdrop, but Vanessa was standing right by the balcony I had to pass, and she was complaining about me loudly. "Mia, what is wrong with you? Why didn't you kiss Chase?" Mia was idly playing with a Rubik's Cube. I didn't feel like it. How could I kiss him? Then who do you have feelings for? Mike. Vanessa's tone was dripping with disgust. Mia laughed, sounding casual. "Yeah, I actually have feelings for him. You're going to regret it. The way he was chanting earlier, he's totally a scumbag. Your taste in men is terrible." Before Vanessa could finish, Mia interrupted her impatiently, speaking rapidly. "If he's a scumbag, why does he only act that way around me? Why not around you? You need to check yourself. You're blinded." Mia sneered. "And even if he is a scumbag, so what? I'm not exactly a saint either." My heart skipped a beat. That was incredibly hot. The comments went wild. "Holy crap, I ship it. The night couple is real. I shipped them from the start. Fake feelings mixed with real ones. That's adult romance. Mia is so real for that, I'm crying. Her self-awareness is on point. Two villains belong together. Forget Chase. These two are the real match." Vanessa was speechless. Mia pulled out her phone. When she saw the screen, her eyes lit up and she smiled. "He just added me, and he's already messaging me. See? That's love." Vanessa leaned in suspiciously. "No way. Is he confessing to you already?" Mia unlocked her phone, chattering excitedly. "I can't believe he likes me this much." She couldn't hide the smug look on her face. "I checked his horoscope. He's an earth sign. They don't usually message first." I panicked internally and tried to hit unsend, but it said the message was over 2 minutes old and couldn't be unsent. Mia froze, looking like she'd turned to stone. Vanessa couldn't help but repeat, "So this is love?" I looked at the message on my screen, a copied referral code. "You said your family is rich, so you're probably a new user. Can you click this link to help me get a discount on Temu?" 10 seconds later, Mia suddenly laughed. It wasn't a cold laugh. She was genuinely laughing out loud. The comments were losing it. Mia really laughs when she's speechless. The side character uses Temu? How bad can he be? Anyone who hunts for discounts can't be truly evil. That's my moral compass. I have complex feelings about Mike now. I want him as my bro. Mike, add me. I'm a new user. I'll click your link. I see what you're doing there. Mia ignored me. No matter how many messages I sent, she wouldn't reply. I had to use the old method and message her on TikTok. She had been so drunk that night, she didn't even know I was the one she had slept with. So I tried the same trick again and sent her an intimate photo from that night. In the picture, she had me pinned against the wall, kissing me passionately. The flash had been on, reflecting in her eyes. She had been biting my ear, whispering, "Focus." The photo was a bit blurry, but the vibe was intense, sexy, and ambiguous. You could see my eyes, but she probably wouldn't recognize them. Mia replied quickly, "How much this time?" "No money." With the $280,000 from last time, I had paid Grandma's medical bills and saved enough for 2 years of tuition and living expenses. I was spineless and selfish. I couldn't give the money back, so I set a condition. "I want you to reply to all your iMessage texts." She had a lot of contacts. Even if she was suspicious, she wouldn't guess it was me. I patted my chest. I was a genius. Fine. Not long after, Mia sent a screenshot. It was the confirmation page, showing she had clicked my referral link. Thanks. I replied to her message coldly. You're welcome. Then I gathered my courage and typed, I like you. She didn't reply. The typing bubble didn't even appear. So much for love. Mia, you played me. 3 seconds later, I cracked. Actually, I don't like you that much. You're just average. I don't even like talking to you. You're really sturdy. I was just joking. Don't take it seriously. Hilarious. Let's block each other. Then, crying, I deleted her contact. The comments were confused. Mike, don't lose it. Wait, this isn't how the plot goes. Shouldn't they do this and that, and then that? Where did Mia go? Give me a minute. I'll check her stream. Mystery solved. Mia was riding a shared bike back to campus. She froze when she saw the message and got hit by a scooter running a red light. Making the heiress suffer brings bad karma. Is it bad? Nah, just a minor fatal injury. I saw Mia again 3 days later. She had a scrape near her eyebrow, red and swollen. But with her pale skin, it gave her a sort of battle-damaged beauty look. I heard she stayed in the hospital for a day, but was discharged with just minor scrapes. I was too embarrassed to add her back, so now she looked at me with a mix of disbelief and resignation. Chase had organized this trip, and both Mia and Chloe were there. Unfortunately, the villa only had 3 bedrooms. Chase and I each took one. Mia and Chloe were supposed to share one. The comments were screaming, disaster. Chloe isn't going to ask to switch rooms with Mia, is she? No, just let Mia and Mike room together. They're perfect for each other. I always thought the plot twist in the original book was forced. Chase falls for Chloe, and Mia suddenly has an epiphany? Ridiculous. Mike, please, find a chance to be alone with Mia. Wait, Chase wants to switch rooms with Chloe. My eyes widened in shock. That evening, I saw Chase chugging alcohol. Knowing his sunny personality, he was definitely trying to get drunk, so he could shamelessly cling to Mia. So every time he poured a drink, I snatched it and drank it myself. He poured, I grabbed. In the end, 5 strong cocktails ended up in my stomach. My head was spinning, and it felt like I was walking on cotton. Mia sat nearby, chin in her hand, a smirk playing on her lips as she watched me with amusement. Chloe scoffed. Mike, I didn't know you could drink like that. The alcohol content was high, and it tasted as bitter as medicine. But nothing was as bitter as my life. My tongue felt thick. I used to only drink soda. Mia burst out laughing. I tried to stand up to go to my room, but I swayed. Someone reached out to steady me. I smelled a crisp scent of cedar. It was the exact same scent she had left on me that night. It was comforting. By the time I was lying in bed, I couldn't read the floating comments anymore. But my fading consciousness reminded me that Mia would be with Chase tonight. Even if nothing happened, just the thought of them in the same room made me crazy with jealousy. I fumbled for my phone, opened TikTok, found my DMs with Mia, and sent every single intimate photo I had saved. Through the haze, I thought I heard her laugh, and then her voice. What do you want this time? Maybe I was just too drunk. I didn't see a text, but I swore I heard her speaking. I sent a voice note back, my words slurring. You don't want your childhood friend to know, right? Mia, someone's gonna come into your room tonight. Can you please not stay with him? I thought I was being very polite. Then who should I stay with? Mia's voice was lazy and amused. I unbuttoned the top 2 buttons of my shirt, exposing my collarbone and chest. I smiled at the camera, snapped a photo, and sent it. Stay with me. See? I'm very manly. Mia's laughter echoed back. Then I felt someone lean over me, their warm breath tickling my ear, turning it red. I saw. You're super hot. I turned my head and looked right into her eyes. She was so beautiful I sobered up instantly. I looked at the TikTok messages on my phone, then at Mia standing in front of me. Some people are dead inside. I had just died of social embarrassment. I looked at her with teary eyes. Can you please not tell anyone? Mia grinned mischievously and waved her phone. Mr. Miller, you wouldn't want anyone to know about this, would you? What do you want? I asked. Mia tossed her phone aside. She leaned down and kissed me, her fingers tracing the side of my waist. I want you. I felt myself melt into a puddle. I let her take the lead, losing all sense of direction. As my vision blurred, I saw the comments scrolling frantically. WTF? Why did the screen go black? We're premium members. Show us everything. Don't cut the stream. Looks like our boy lost all his strength. Wait, wasn't it supposed to be a bathroom scene in the book? And the balcony? And the kitchen? I'm so mad I'm ordering takeout. Maybe cultural customs are different, but here we don't cut to black just for a kiss. I'm not talking to anyone tonight. I'm so mad. Mia, let me see 2 more episodes. The next morning, I felt surprisingly bold. At breakfast, Chase and Chloe were very quiet. Mia sat next to me. When no one was looking, I rubbed my calf against hers. She smirked and gave me a warning look. I tapped my phone screen, signaling her to check iMessage. I texted, "Want to see a picture?" She replied, "What picture?" Desire and depravity, spiritual imprisonment and physical pleasure. Our forbidden sanctuary. Welcome to the asylum. I deliberately paused before sending the last word. Room. She definitely missed the context. Chloe was sitting right next to her and could see the screen at any moment. Mia suddenly shouted, "Don't send it." Everyone stared at her, but I had already hit send. The photo was of a teddy bear sitting on the bed, looking innocently into the mirror. Welcome to the bear room, baby. What were you thinking? The comments were scrolling. Dirty minds see dirty things. It's just me, Mike. You played me. Mia laughed, reached out to grab my chin, and wiped a drop of milk from the corner of my mouth with her thumb. "You're learning bad habits, kid." I was stunned. I thought our relationship had to be a secret, something hidden in the dark. But with that one move, she put it right out in the open. I instinctively glanced at Chase. He was quiet, showing no reaction. Chloe looked at him with concern. Mia broke the silence first. "My boyfriend and I are leaving early. You guys have fun. Isn't there a hot spring here?" Chase put down his bread and wiped his mouth elegantly. "Okay." Chloe nodded too. While packing, I left my door slightly ajar, waiting for Mia. But Chase came instead. "I never thought you'd end up with Mia." His eyes were dark, devoid of their usual sunshine, filled only with gloom and pain. I paused. "Why are you so obsessed with Mia? Happiness is right in front of you, but some people just love to suffer." Chasing Mia all these years had clearly exhausted him. "You don't understand." Chase grabbed my hand, his eyes full of jealousy and obsession. "You need money, right? I can give you money. Just stay away from Mia." I opened my mouth but didn't know what to say. But the thought of leaving Mia made me incredibly sad, a heart-wrenching, suffocating kind of sad. "Do you deserve her?" Chase suddenly screamed. "Didn't you befriend me just to get close to her? Does she know how manipulative you are? Does she know what kind of person you really are? Does she know about your dirty little secrets?" Something snapped in my brain. "What secrets? What do you know? Are you scared? If you're scared, leave her." Chase calmed down, his eyes mocking me. My fingers wouldn't stop trembling until a warm hand grasped mine, pulling me out of the bone-chilling cold. Mia stood there, frowning and serious. "Chase, I've always only seen you as a brother. Everyone in our community treats you well, not just me. You need to figure some things out for yourself." I was silent the whole way back. Fear wrapped around me like the night, suffocating me. Mia reached over and held my hand. "Don't worry, he doesn't know anything." I forced a smile. I took her to my apartment. It was tiny with peeling paint, but I kept it spotless. There were daisies on the balcony, colorful pillows on the windowsill, and a case of soda in the corner. That soda was my first big purchase after getting the $280,000. But the cozy atmosphere didn't last long before my phone blew up. Messages from classmates, teachers, and coworkers flooded in. "Mike, is the post on the confession wall true? That post is viral. Did you really sleep with that rich lady? Date me, I'll pay you too. How about $2,000? Is $2,000 enough? I'll pay more if you're good. Mr. Miller, come to my office on Monday." This incident reflects very poorly on the school. I opened the post. The title hurt my eyes. "Poor campus hunk enters luxury car late at night. A night with a sugar mommy is worth 1,000 gold." The photos showed me getting into a white BMW. My back, profile, and face were clearly visible. I was being crucified online. Meanwhile, Mia was on the balcony, gently touching the daisy petals, completely unaware. I wished it could stay like this forever. I walked over and kissed her, frantically trying to take off her clothes. "Easy, babe," Mia teased, laughing. My breathing was ragged. I didn't know if it was from fear or desire. I couldn't stop shaking. Mia finally realized something was wrong. She grabbed my wrist, her voice serious. "What's wrong?" "Nothing. It's nothing." I shook my head. She squeezed my hand harder, her tone commanding. "Tell me the truth." She glanced at my phone. "Do I have to look myself?" My vision blurred. Even if I lied to myself, Mia would find out eventually. I handed her the phone, giving her the choice of whether to keep liking me or not. But I couldn't help but defend myself. I did get in his car, but nothing happened. I ran away. I'm not that dirty. Grandma's medical bills were due, and my job hadn't paid me. He told me that if I went with him, all my problems would be solved. I wavered. I even went to the hotel entrance. But I changed my mind at the last second. Does it matter, though? I still lost my dignity. From the moment I hesitated, I ruined my life. I really am just a pathetic side character, selfish, jealous, and a gold digger. But I want to keep a shred of dignity in front of you. Just go. I'm not a good person. You don't have to force yourself to like me. I grew up in the dirt. You can't expect a white lotus to grow out of the mud. If you expected me to be perfect, that's on you. Expectation is a form of violence. Just leave. I admit I wavered. I don't deny it. My voice broke as I spoke. "Mike, you're telling her to leave, so why are you still gripping her sleeve?" My fingers trembled, wanting to let go, but I didn't have the strength. Suddenly, Mia pulled me into a tight hug. "I know." I looked up at her. "You know." She kissed my forehead. Her voice was soft. "I know. I saw you crying on the street that day. I know you wavered, but actions matter more than thoughts. When I saw you run away from that hotel, I was happy. You're not a lotus, and I don't need a perfect lover. I love all of you. You're selfish, but you give your scrap money to your grandma. You're jealous, but you've never actually hurt anyone. You're resilient. You starved, but you never gave up on your education. Mud might not grow lotuses, but you grew into a tree that can weather any storm." Years of pain and grievance exploded out of me. I buried my face in her chest and cried like a child. Mia might never know how shocked I was when she told Vanessa, "Even if he's a scumbag, so what? I'm not a saint either." That meant she accepted all my flaws and still chose me. Being chosen, being someone's favorite, was the one thing I had always wanted but never had. The author gave me a miserable life, poverty, a gambler father, a sick grandmother, and the role of a villainous side character. But I still remember the day Mr. Henderson pulled up in his car and said, "Come with me, and I'll cover your grandmother's medical bills." I almost agreed. Grandma couldn't wait, and I didn't know when my paycheck would come. But at the hotel entrance, I remembered studying vocabulary under the streetlights in high school, my hands so cold I couldn't hold a pen. In college, I stayed in the library until closing just to save on electricity. I had come too far to take a shortcut. Shortcuts are poison, false hope for the desperate. So I pushed Mr. Henderson away and ran. I ran all the way to the bus stop before I broke down and cried. Looking back, that was probably the first time I defied the plot. I saved myself, and that's something to be proud of. Mia helped me sue the account that started the rumors. I don't know what she did, but Chase even came to apologize to me. His eyes were red like a rabbit's. "I'm sorry. I shouldn't have slandered you." He sounded sincere. The author gave him a rich family and a sunny personality. He wasn't bad at heart, just blinded by love. "It's okay. I'm sorry too. I really did befriend you just to get close to Mia. That was wrong of me." Chase's shoulders trembled. Later, he posted a video explaining everything and clearing my name. My reputation was finally restored. He'd probably have to watch Mia and me be happy together and feel sad about it sometimes. It was a pity, but that's life. I kept working my part-time jobs and maintained my top grades to keep my scholarship. The only difference was that now Mia was waiting for me when I got home. This time, she was holding a black collar and wolf ears. I put my arm around her neck, snapped a photo, and whispered, "You wouldn't want your friends to know about this, would you?" I hovered over her. She bit my collarbone. "If you don't want them to know, pay up." She couldn't stop laughing. "Mike, can you at least ask for thousands? The first time you blackmailed me for $28, I was so confused." I put my hand on her neck. "Don't bring up my dark past." She pecked my lips, smiling. "Yes, master." The screen went black again. Epilogue, Mia's POV. My name is Mia Sterling, and I'm not a good person. I recognized Mike Miller the first time I saw him at university. He was the little boy who had licked the soda can on the street all those years ago. I remember opening 7 cans of soda just to show him how to use the tab. He drank every single one. He was so small, holding that pile of empty cans, his eyes shining like stars. As I drove away, I saw him give half the cans to an old lady collecting scrap. I thought about how unfair the world was. Some people are born with endless money, but live empty lives. Others can't even afford to eat, yet they still try to be kind. I started watching him. I watched him stay in the library until closing. I watched him bust tables at the restaurant. I watched him send every penny he saved back home. At first, I just found him interesting. In a school full of rich kids, he was unique. Then I heard he got into Mr. Henderson's car. I immediately had someone look up Henderson and the hotel he booked. I drove there as fast as I could, my heart pounding like it was going to explode. I wondered if he had finally given up after struggling for so long. I didn't know, but I didn't want him to end up like that. I even had the dark thought that if he was going to sell himself, I should be the one to buy him. My family had money. I could give him whatever he wanted. But then I saw him crying at the bus stop. His shoulders were shaking with sobs. I realized my own hands were trembling. He hadn't given up. In that moment, I knew he wasn't just interesting to me anymore. I wanted to be part of his life. I wanted to understand his pain. I wanted to walk with him. So that night, when I was drunk and he walked me to my room, trying to flirt with his clumsy pickup lines, I didn't say no. I actually enjoyed it. After all, I'm not exactly a good person either.